Good day! In teaching world, we will encounter different characteristics of a teacher. It's either good or bad. As a future educators or instructors, we should consider the advantages and disadvantages of teaching and consider how we might improve our teaching profession. So, the following are the positive and negative characteristics of a teacher. Watch this.
Motivating students. One of a good characteristic of a teacher is motivating students by getting involved in the classroom and teach them responsibility. Give each kid a task to complete their participation enjoyable. Teacher motivates their student to learn by providing them a positive feedback in order to develop competence. A teacher who displays of interest and positive feelings about a subject can reflect those positive beings towards students.
A good listener is one of a good characteristic of a teacher. Having this characteristic, it enables to understand the feeling of their students. Effective communication is one of the effects of being a good listener. By this, it will help to identify the strength and interest of the students. Being a teacher, you must know how to listen to your student for you to build a relationship with them. And students will have open interested in conversation.
The professional teacher has the capability of being approachable and be patient to all students and especially to the activity or plus activity along the lines of schoolworks. Teachers whose being approachable will have a good relationship with the students and this means that you're helpful. These students will have a good aptitude, have the ability that the students to be secured, and the last is it can communicate to all but at the same time it has to be respectful conversation between the students and teachers. Teachers having more patience when it comes to teaching and attitudes or behavior of the students is essential.
Patience and approachable. Dealing with different learners, student is difficult because they have different characteristics. Being a teacher, you must know how to approach the learners so that they feel comfortable with your presence. Learners need a teacher which listen to them and can openly make a humor with their students. Teachers who has patience to know and wait to a learner's reason to inappropriate action, and teachers who earn the trust of the students can be available at all times is one of the good characteristics of an educator.
Teacher is always ready to come in class every day and ready to teach the lesson that day. He starts the class at the right time and while she was teaches, it's make sure that every word that speak out is understood by his students and by inquiry and giving of assessments to her students with his way to improve and help development the learning of his students.
One of the positive characters of a teacher is being passionate in teaching. A passionate educator is in every hardship they encounter in school or on his learners, they still manage to drive her learners to get knowledge and wisdom and learn more. They love their profession and has a strong feeling and admiration in teaching.
I can say that teacher is a good role model. We learn from them because of their dedication to perfection and their capacity to help us accomplish our own personal development. Teachers accompany students through each critical developmental stage. You as a teacher have the opportunity to become one of the most influential people in your students' lives by teaching them for 6 to 8 hours a day, 5 days a week.
One of the negative characteristics of a teacher is failing in recognizing students' needs. I've noticed some failing patterns among teachers, not just in terms of classes, but also in terms of how they engage with their jobs and students. In general, teachers' role is to assist students in learning by transferring knowledge and creating an environment in which students can learn efficiently. Teachers, on the other hand, have a complex set of responsibilities that might lead to failure to recognize the needs of their learners.
Teachers who are not open to any suggestions of her or his students is one of many bad characteristics of a teacher. Learners are always asking and curious, so teachers should allow themselves to listen and give advices or information that they needed. In that way, it allows the students to practice communication and learn it from them. If a teacher always shut every suggestion of his or her student, it creates pressure, confusion, and low self-esteem, for they are making walls between him or her and the students, and they limiting their opportunities to learn, explore, or discover their own ideas about the topic.
As a teacher, we should see to it that in giving instruction to our pupils should be easy to understand. We should consider the ability and interest of the child. The instruction should be clear because different individuals differ in their capacity to grasp. What we should want them to understand should be clear and concise. There is a great negative effect to a child who cannot cope up with the instruction not clear to him. If his performance is so poor or low, it develops in a child's inferiority, hence giving him discouragement. Instead, he will lose his inspiration in his studies. It will result to the destruction of the child's future ambitions.
One of the negative characteristics of a teacher is not considering student situations. A not considerate teacher can cause a student to experience significant setbacks. A teacher that cannot consider will cultivate an atmosphere with so much indiscipline, thus developing a pattern that cannot be broken easily. Teachers need to see how ideas connect across fields and to everyday life. Understanding your student interest will help you to provide them with quality learning opportunities. An effective teacher does not simply teach knowledge to their students and instead aims to arm students with the knowledge, skills, understanding, attitudes that will prepare students for long learning.